Hi everyone, welcome back to BS Rambles, and today I want to discuss one of the greatest misconceptions surrounding Heroes of the Storm, and that is that a single player cannot carry a game. Now, this is something that I hear mostly from people who come from other MOBAs like League of Legends or Dota, but occasionally I hear it from within the Heroes of the Storm community as well. The reality is that you absolutely can carry games, but you have to be good. There's no such thing as getting fed like in other MOBAs where maybe a couple kills early has you leaps and bounds more powerful than your opponents. No. In Heroes of the Storm, if you want to carry, you're going to have to outplay your opponents through the entirety of the game, and luckily for those people, there are mechanics implemented in the game that let skilled players take over, and I'll touch on those now. So the video that I have playing in the background is one that I have hung on to for a while, and the whole time it's been in my folder labeled Insane KT Carry. And in this game, our Kel'Thuzad, who's that tall, skinny frost mage throwing chains for any non-HOTS players watching this, carried unbelievably hard, and there are two mechanics that he took advantage of that allowed him to do so. The first of the two that he did is that he picked one of many heroes in the game who are balanced primarily around their difficulty to play as opposed to their maximum potential output. Kel'Thuzad has the potential to do insane burst damage, some of the highest in the game. However, it's balanced around landing a difficult chain of abilities, pun intended, which most players might only land about 25% of the time. Now, this balancing actually works great because better players get better at avoiding chains, but if you really are better than your opponents, or if you're just on fire that day, you're going to be able to land your combo with greater accuracy and start deleting opponents and carrying the game. This particular Kel'Thuzad that we're keeping an eye on right now clearly has a leg up on our opponents and is nailing his combo over and over, giving the enemy team basically no chance. Other heroes in the game that have similar tools used to balance them include Hanzo with his scatter arrow, which if you can hit a perfect scatter arrow with Hanzo, he becomes one of the highest output and deadliest long-range burst assassins in the game, but it's so difficult to do. I was unlucky enough once to get into a game with an HGC level Hanzo player. The angles he was hitting were so oppressive on our backline that it felt like there was nothing that we could do. Other heroes that come to mind that fit this theme of having insanely high skill ceilings are Zeratul, the Lost Vikings can take over with map control, Maiev, Genji, Tracer, Medivh, and honestly, anyone that you can play above the skill level of your opponent. Although I do think that Kel'Thuzad is probably the most acute example of this difficulty-based balancing. Now, there is a second mechanic that our god-tier Kel'Thuzad player here has taken advantage of, and it exists on many heroes in the game, and it provides a huge statistical advantage to better players in the game, which opens up avenues to carrying. That second mechanic is quests. For our non-heroes players, quests exists in this game as some type of task or challenge to complete during the game that will grant a reward upon completion. These quests provide players with asymmetrical power spikes, meaning that players can gain huge increases in power regardless of team level through completion of their quests. This rewards players that are individually skilled enough to complete a quest efficiently and reach those power spikes sooner. Now, our Kel'Thuzad here completed his Master of the Cold Dark quest in just 3 minutes and 51 seconds, which gave him both the Glacial Spike ability as well as a 75% increase in spell power. That's right, 75% increased spell power for the rest of the game, and he accessed that in under 4 minutes. Most Kel'Thuzad players will take over twice that, clocking in around 8 minutes. And you will see in this game that by the 8-minute mark, Kel'Thuzad has already carried us so hard that barring the comeback of the century, we had basically already won this game. Now, again, Kel'Thuzad is probably the most acute example of a massive quest-based power spike, but most other heroes in the game do have quests that provide comparable power spikes. Heroes like Alarak, Thrall, Hanzo, Illidan, and honestly most heroes in the game reward the best player's ability to efficiently complete quests with massive buffs that if gained early can be enough to carry games. There's lots of other ways that players can carry outside of these mechanics. I mentioned the Lost Vikings earlier as an example of a hero that can single-handedly provide map control for an entire team. And there's lots of other examples too, though certainly the two mechanics that exist in the game for the express purpose of allowing better players to carry games are A, mechanically difficult heroes with incredibly high skill ceilings whose output is balanced around the difficulty of their playstyle, and B, quests, which exist on most heroes that reward players who can efficiently complete them with individual power spikes outside of the linear leveling system. And if those points aren't enough to see that you can carry in Heroes of the Storm, there are loads of players who have put it to the test by starting in Bronze and powering their way back up to Masters for the sole purpose of proving that they can carry themselves through all the ranks in Heroes of the Storm with consistency and ease. I think that the "you can't carry in HOTS" narrative has arisen from a lack of understanding from people coming from other MOBAs and from HOTS players themselves who find themselves frustrated with their inability to climb in rank the way that they might feel entitled to. And that's all I have for now, everyone, so thank you so much for watching, and I think it would be fun if everyone would comment with who their pick for the #1 hero that allows you to carry games would be. And if you enjoyed the video, please do consider subscribing to my channel for more, and if you want to help me out, you can also like and share, which helps more people see the video and also helps grow my channel. So thanks again everyone so much for watching, I really appreciate it, and have a great week.